Relative to the labor aspect, it's just labor is labor. I mean, you can't do an AI agent in drywall and paint, right? So it has to be at the administrative level. And of course, drones and those type of things are still already being used in the industry. Reading proposals and processing RFPs and uploading documents into an AI system to get feedback on, is this proposal strong, or where is it strong, or where is it weak, and where do we need to do better to be able to win this award? Those are the things that we're looking at implementing right now.
This episode is brought to you by Pierre Tax and Accounting, led by CPA Eric Pierre, a seasoned accounting and tax expert with years of experience helping individuals and businesses navigate complex financial landscapes. Whether you need personal tax planning, business tax strategy, bookkeeping, or financial planning support, Eric and his team are committed to helping you protect and grow your financial future with clarity and confidence. To get expert guidance you can trust, check out Pierre Tax and Accounting at pierreaccounting.com. This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters Podcast. I'm joined by Mark Floyd, who's a friend of mine from Rise Up Kings. He's one of the owners of F&P Construction, who looks like they are up to quite a bit. I was checking the website, Mark, before this, and I'm super impressed. And looks like you're not doing small projects here. We're doing some large-scale stuff. Tell us a little bit about the company and your story and how you got into the industry.
Yeah, man, Andrew, it's a pleasure to be with you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, and I know our common interests are Rise Up Kings, and it's I'm sure changed both of our lives and still changing and transforming them. So yeah, we got started back in 2013. I come from a background of in healthcare actually. I was in the Navy back in the early 80s, and I got injured and uh, first Persian Gulf War. I came out of that and started working in the pharmacy field, hospital pharmacy for the next 15 or so years. And then uh, end up getting into construction. So this is the short version of that journey, actually. So how did I go from construction or from pharmacy to construction? I have no idea. If I had have known, then I probably would have did something different. But we never know the how, right? We just kind of act on things when they come, and that was one of the things we did. My wife and I actually started a janitorial firm initially, and then it morphed into construction cleaning, and then into a full-fledged general contractor. So that's kind of how that played out. 2013, I met a partner. We started the business, and we've been going ever since. Our bread and butter literally is more public projects than private, multifamily and residential. Those margins are a little small for us. So we were able to uh, find our niche in commercial construction. We do schools, colleges, and universities, K-12, ground ups, renovations. We do a lot of partnering and joint ventures. I say a lot. We do some. We have some great relationships in place, great clients, and we're still running, man. We building these schools that produces the next generation of leaders.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So you found a niche with, it sounds like you're doing quite a bit in the education space. Is there like a way to get in with, large education institutions where they give you contracts, or how does that typically work?
Yeah, there is. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? It's interesting though, because part of that journey is I taught as an adjunct professor at one of the local colleges here. So I understood and understand the dynamics between uh, teaching and training students and then pushing them, if you will, out into the workforce, and how important not only the training is, but as more important, them getting a job and being able to support themselves when they graduate. So I kind of started on both ends, and now I was in the classroom teaching those leaders, and now I'm building the institutions that produce them, if you will. So it's a really encouraging and exciting journey. Relative to the contract side of things, there are requests for proposals that, come out in the public sector, and obviously you have to qualify, and so we kind of grew from that particular perspective. As with any client, you figure out where you're going to eat from, which trough, if you will, and then you go at it. And they are either gonna, not give you the contract. Relationships are great, but you still have to propose and respond to the contract to make sure the numbers and your qualifications and things of that nature are up to par.
That's so cool. I love that you used your experience as an educator to kind of make your way in the in that field. Mark, just for the sake of the audience, you don't have to like go into your P&L or anything in particular, but what's the kind of size and scope of how much business you guys are doing as a company?
Right now, last year obviously it's been progressive, and we're doing about 200 million, a little bit more than that in contracts right now that we have out there. So, usually these schools, they usually go for a length of about 18 months. Sometimes they'll go in about 20 months. So, a couple of sizes of the projects that we have uh, range from 50 million to 75 million.
That's incredible. Most of the builders that I speak to probably are in the 30 to 100 million dollar range. Like, what types of problems or issues do you run into when you're doing this at such a large scale?
Well, it's labor, skilled labor. I mean, I've went through my mind when you asked that question. There's probably seven or eight things that just popped up. And so, uh, being in the public sector, one of the challenges for the industry, as well as each individual contractor ourselves, being in schools and working in airports and things of that nature. Although we do office buildings, and we build and renovate those spaces as well, some private sector uh, projects that we have, but mostly public. In schools and airports and working in occupied spaces with kids and such, the badging process is very difficult to be able to find skilled labor that are able to pass a background check. In construction industry, as you probably very well know, whether if it's architectural or civil, which is what we call heavy highway or building, which is like night and day. Uh, the majority of the industry is Hispanic, and so in with that comes challenges of badging and I-9s and those type of things to be able to staff up the labor pool on these projects. So that's one challenge the industry is having. Another one is just capital and bonding and those type of things that most small contractors go to and run into. The way that we've been able to uh, get around that, if you will, um, or compete, I would say, is to add value to partners in joint ventures that have the capacity to bond $100 million project, because bonding, as you probably know, has to deal a lot with assets. And most small businesses don't have, the collateral to be able to finance those type of projects. And so you partner and then you add value to those clients through that partnership, and you focus on the projects that you yourself as a general contractor can perform on, which is what we do.
This episode is brought to you by 10x Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10x Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker: they only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rakowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rakowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork, it's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rakowskilawfirm.com. Any projects you're working on right now that you're particularly excited about? Any cool buildings you're building? Any schools you're working with that would be fun to share about?
That's a great question, man. And there actually is. There's a project that we call, it's a school, K-12, Bedford Law Academy here in Texas. And it is a highly technical building that um, has has courtrooms in it. It has law offices. It has debate halls. I mean, it is, wood grain all over the place. It is very expensive and wealthy looking, like you're going into a courtroom or an expensive law offices, where these kids will be able to debate. Will be able to challenge themselves in court, and judges and lawyers and all those type of things. It's very beautiful building. So if you were to Google Bedford Law Academy Dallas ISD project, you'll see the progress that we've made on that school and see the renderings on the website there. It is a phenomenal school. We're very excited about it. That school is in a low income community, and that is changing the entire landscape of that community to be able to produce those leaders that will be the next generation of leaders in our society.
That's so cool. Let's talk about the changing scape of construction with AI. How are you guys either latching onto it or leveraging it? And where are some areas that you feel like it's changing kind of your kind of overall industry?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's still kind of new in the construction industry. And again, when you have we consider ourselves not large company, but it's still a small business, right? According to the SBA side standards. Um, so we have minimal resources, and so you got to find the right AI fit for your particular organization. Now, these large companies, these billion-dollar companies, they can go all out AI. But for someone like us, being limited in resources and capital allocation, we reinvest back into the organization in areas like um, estimating, right? To be able to be maybe not 100% full person that would take over 100% of the project, but if I can get that person or that AI agent, if you will, to take over 30 or 40% of that project and do a takeoff or something of that nature to help my estimate out, it will be very, very, very beneficial and has been. We're looking into those type of things right now. Relative to the labor aspect, it's just labor is labor. I mean, you can't, do an AI agent in drywall and paint, right? So it has to be at the administrative level, obviously. And of course, drones and those type of things are already in being used in the industry. Um, reading proposals and processing RFPs and uploading documents into an AI system to get feedback on, is this proposal strong, or where is it strong, or where is it weak, and where do we need to do better to be able to win this award. So those are the things that we're looking at implementing right now in the organization.
That's amazing. I was thinking about this as you were talking. I somehow got targeted by the algorithm on Instagram for everything robotic. And I've talked to so many construction guys, and I just don't see a world where trade school is going to get sexy again. So, speaking about skilled labor, I'm like, I feel like we should all be investing in robotics at the moment because this seems to be the next progression of this space in this industry. Robots for roofing, robots for pouring concrete. Do you feel like that's the way that the space is going with all these advancements?
Well, as you were talking, I was about to say probably not in our lifetime, but that's probably not accurate. as fast as things are going right now, it could happen within the next decade or so. Now, it'd be a bit challenging, to use robots in that capacity. So I think that's, far, far, far down the road. But what I do think that we have to do and that we are doing with the clients and the community and the educational institutions and the corporations in our community that we deal with is that we are attempting to make trade schools a little bit more sexier. Construction, usually, somebody in high school look at construction, they're going to look at dirty boots, they're going to look at, dirt and buildings and these type of things. But, we're finding a way to be able to make construction sexy again, if you will, to those younger generation of individuals, because it's not just drywall and paint and roofing, it's drones, it's AI technology, being able to estimate. It's in the administrative capabilities of using technology, which is what these young individuals are more focused on, and integrate that into the construction project. And so we're able to bring those individuals out in these early college programs, because that's what's happening, Andrew. We're building these schools and renovating these schools and building a early college campus on a high school campus. And so it's highly technical and advanced. And in some cases, while we're building those schools, we're actually engaging with the students in a construction technology course and being able to walk them through the school and give them a tour, a real time of what we're doing. So it's very exciting. And so we're able to do that, in some instances not.
What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by ExitWise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what ExitWise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it. What do you feel like is next for your company? What are some of your goals over the next 1, 3, 5 years?
Yeah. Great question. We want to stay lean. We want to stay lean and with the lean workforce, continue to build schools, colleges and universities, and of course, grow our revenue, employ more individuals so that we can give back to the community. And we have a couple of different things that we do in the community where we're able to hire second chance people that have potentially gone to prison and have gotten out, giving them a second opportunity, or someone that have made bad decisions in their life earlier on, like we all have, and been pushed to the side in opportunities because they have a felony that was 20 years old or 10 years old or something of that nature, and able to provide them an opportunity so they can support their families. So we're really engaged in the community engagement that we have while we're building schools in those communities. We're able to give back and put back in the community to empower those individuals economically. So we're going to continue to do that, but also, um, just stay in our lane. We're entering more into the airport or airport concessions, because in concessions there's a lot of work there. It's kind of a niche for construction. So we're keenly focused on where we're able to produce, where 80% of our revenue is coming from 20% of our efforts, and so we're focusing on that 20% to be able to generate.
I talk to a lot of contractors who are, on a smaller scale. When did you start kind of picking up larger contracts, and what do you feel like is the key to success in that arena? I know a lot of guys that would love to pick up a $50 million contract. What's the key to landing something like that?
Yeah, great question. I've been asked that question before. Definitely relationships. Nurture relationships, have the capabilities to be able to perform on those projects when you start to compete for them. Um, and also do more than what you get paid for, because most of those clients that you engage, I always encourage my team that these are not one-offs, that this is repeat business because these clients will have more projects all the time. And so definitely being able to have someone that can communicate the vision of the organization, communicate the vision of the client, because it's all about them, and build trust. Trust is one of the most important things that you would have with the client because the client is not really buying or purchasing our skills and assets only. What they're purchasing is trust. And so having that trust and building that trust and executing is key. And obviously, having the appropriate staff, putting the right people in the right place on the right project. So the team is very important as well.
That's awesome. What I know when we last spoke over the phone, you mentioned that you have a podcast set up and you have a studio of sorts. What kind of content are you putting out? And is there a place that we can have the audience go check out?
Yeah, that kind of got derailed.
Uh-oh.
So it's coming back, but usually I it ended up going one way and ended up another way. And the way that it ended up was uh, I invested into a fulfillment center, my wife and I, on e-commerce products. And then it came into the media. And so now we're incorporating media into fulfillment. So we're able to uh, position our clients' brands. Of course, I have a couple partners, position our clients' brands in our fulfillment center and promote them and market them on our streaming TV networks. So at first it started off with podcasts. Now we actually own a TV network called Omnicore Media Group. Yeah.
That's cool. I was waiting. I was like, man, that's that you blown my mind over here. What so tell me about that. How do you wind up stumbling into owning a media brand?
Well, the contact that the relationship happened to come into my sphere and us into their sphere. And it was on those lines of, I was wanting to set up a podcast and YouTube channel and all that. And it ended up being something much bigger. And that's how God works. You go in one way and you come out another way. And his ways are always much bigger than ours. And so once I met that individual and her organization, we ended up filming 8 episodes on a TV channel that's come out in August called Meet Me in the Boardroom, where kingdom principles empower entrepreneurs. And so I'll make sure that I send you some information to the premiere. So hopefully you'll be able to join us in August on that. And from that, I had just invested in the fulfillment center a month or so prior on an opportunity that came to me and realized that, God dropped in my heart one day, say, you can put your client's brands on TV because she has production, development, and distribution all in one. So we're on Roku, Apple Fire, Amazon, Apple TV. We have the distribution network of hundreds of millions of people. We're able to do commercials. We're able to do podcasts. We're able to do all these different things through partnerships where we now are focusing and operate as one, adding value to our clients.
That's so cool, man. You got a lot going on. That's exciting.
Yeah,
So
fortunately,
I'm
I'm
excited.
I'm I'm excited that it's just not me because I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. Partnerships.
Mark, last thing, we you and I know each other through Rise Up Kings. Always get like to get a little soundbite for those guys. What how has it changed your life, business, however it's impacted you?
Yeah, Rise Up Kings, man. I'm still connected to the community as I'm sure you are. And I still talk to a few of those guys that were in my pod 49. Yep, give a shout out to 49, man. Um, And when I got involved with Rise Up Kings, Andrew, I was just coming off of a health issue, and I was really in great shape. I had got diagnosed with prostate cancer, and got that taken care of, which that came out of nowhere, brother. I mean, it was just one of those things. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. In the midst of all these great things happening, you get that report that just kind of makes you pause on everything. But short story shorter, end up, wanting to do something different. Felt like um, I wanted to be more transformed. I'm an advocate of personal development and transformation. And so I think that's what attracted Rise Up Kings. And man, it was just a phenomenal. I had some great experiences there, particularly with, well, I don't want to give it away, but that was a couple of blindfold moments that we were exposed to that really just changed my life for the better and made me see things in a different way, and the reality of, wow, you are almost here. You are almost here. So, and that was a graveyard experience. But anyway, coming off of that, can you imagine? I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, wait a
Yeah.
minute. It's like today
Yeah.
you just died. God, I mean, I lost it. But anyway, it was very transformative, and it was, I'm telling my wife about it, and she didn't want to hear a whole lot of it, but not that anyway. But it was, yeah, man. I'm still connected to those guys. Coach Mondo and we talk probably once a week. And so yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful thing.
Well, Mark, anything else that we haven't talked about today that gets you fired up?
Man, I appreciate these podcasts, and thank you for what you're doing. Andrew, I know we were introduced to each other through Rise Up Kings, someone we know there, and I just appreciate what you're doing, and uh, you inspire me, and I'm gonna encourage you to continue and keep going. And we give God all the glory, bro.
Amen. Amen. Well, if people want to find more about who you are and what you do, where can they go?
Facebook. You'll find a little bit more out about later because I got some big things going. You will know, but for the most part, my website, Facebook, those type of things. DM me, however you want to reach out to me. That would be great.
I love it, Mark. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks for coming on the podcast.
Appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you, sir.